Okay, Shalom, I'm back. So we're looking at a lot of where this doctrine comes from is 2 Peter 2 and 4. For it the Most High Spirit, not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved until judgment. Now, I've showed you men or people, and we went into Second Ezra, you've seen that he said people, then he named men. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the prophets, which are men, which are angels. It says, which is an angel of the Most High. And I showed you Hebrews 13 and 2. Don't forget to entertain strangers, for some have entertained angels unawares. You see? So now we see here it says, for the Most High Spirit, not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment, right? So I've showed you that angels are people. Now we're going to look at this hell situation. Go to Jonah, the 2nd chapter, verse 1 and 2. Jonah 1 and 2. Missing pages. Give me another Bible. It's crazy. But it's real. Because when you use the Bibles, they wear out. They wear out on you, so you got to make sure that I got a spare. That's why you see me jumping from one to the other, because one might not have the page in it, the other one does. So looking at Jonah, the 2nd chapter, the 1st verse, it says, now the word of the Most High came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me. So you know that the wickedness of Nineveh is gone up into the Most High's ears, where he heard them. Remember, the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men. And Jonah, he didn't want to follow the guidelines of the Most High. And the Most High put him in the whale's mouth, in the fish mouth. So look at Isaiah 5, the 5th chapter. We got to deal with this hell issue. Isaiah 5 and verse 13. It says, therefore my people are gone into captivity. Remember that prison? You got to open the prison houses. It says, people who are the children of Israel are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men and are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst, right? So as if for us going into captivity, because we have no knowledge, go to Hosea, hold that, we coming back there, go to Hosea 4 and 6. Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Most I say, this people, the 12 tribes of Israel, are destroyed for lack of knowledge. I will also, he says, because they have rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. He said, we reject the knowledge. He's saying, reject us as the children of Israel, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. That's the problem. You understand, in this day and time, we're taught we're not under the law, but we're in the mercy and grace. And we Gentiles grafted in, among who you don't know, because you ain't asked. And the fact of the matter is, we are not Gentiles, we the children of Israel, we the people of the book. And we are destroyed for lack of knowledge because we have forgotten the laws. He's saying here. That's why there can't be no priest to the Most High, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, of your power. I will also forget thy children. And we the children that's been forgotten. But all praise to the Most High that we coming back to his law, statutes, commandments in this day and time to be able to continue with the faith in him. You can't have no faith in him and you don't do what he say do, his rules and regulations. No. So going back to Isaiah the 5th chapter, the 14th verse, it says, therefore hell hath enlarged thee herself. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself, and opened her mouth without measure, with lies and deception and confusion. And their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoices shall descend into it. Into what? This hell, this condition called hell. Look at another condition. Since he's talking about hell, look at 2 Samuel's. 2 Samuel's, the 22nd verse. 2 Samuel's 22nd verse. So you'll see that it's going to correlate with what it's saying as far as dealing with this hell condition. 2 Samuel's 22 and 6 and 7. 2 Samuel's 22 and 6. The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of the traps of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Most High and cried to the Most High, to my power. And he did hear my voice out of his temple, and my cry did enter into his ears. That's the only time the Most High had pity on us. King David was giving us a clear indication of what works. Our ancestors gave us the answers. He cried unto the Most High, and his cry came into the Most High's ears. But here I'm looking at, he's telling in verse 6, the sorrows of hell compassed me about. Condition of hell, a bad condition. Captivity. People against you. You done lost your money. You're broke as hell. You're cold as hell. You just out of it like a hell's condition. That's what we're looking at. People after you. Psalm 16 and 10. Psalm 16 and 10. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. This is prophesying about a Mashiach Yahushua. Hell right here on this condition. What's kind of hell? Who put him to death? So-called Romans. So-called Italian Caucasian, superpower of earth, put up Mashiach Yahushua to death. He ain't leaving on this earth. In a condition called hell. Verse 11. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. So we know who's at the right hand of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, where he going to bring pleasures forevermore. Joy and pleasures forever and ever and ever. Psalms 116, Psalms 116, 3 and 4. Psalms 116 and 3. Here's a condition. Sorrows of death compassed me, and the pain of hell gat hold upon me. I found trouble and sorrow. See? Trouble and sorrow. That's a condition called hell. Wouldn't you say? Yeah. Verse 4. Then called I upon the name of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shama Mashiach Yahushua. That's what he's dealing with. O Most High, I beseech thee, deliver my soul. Deliver my soul. He's alive, saying he's in hell. Condition called hell. Then he called upon Yahweh Ba'Shama Mashiach Yahushua, because just calling the name is no power of Mashiach Yahushua. He said, no man coming to the Father but by me. There is no New Testament. So he's telling you that in St. John 14:6. Well, you see David was calling on him. That was David's. Who's David's power? For those that don't know, Psalms 110 and 1. The Most High said unto my power, sit thee on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. So who's David's power? That's two lords there. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thee on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. You see? That's what Mashiach Yahushua, because David understood that he was Mashiachim. He belonged to the Most High's only begotten son, Mashiach. And Mashiach belonged to the Most High. And that's how we get to the Most High from the beginning to the end. Straight up. Ain't no other way. Mind you, if you don't think that there is no New Testament, you're not going to understand it spiritually. Well, how's David going to say, the Lord said unto my Lord, the Most High said unto my power, Mashiach Yahushua, as the Spirit of the Most High, sit thee on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. That's where he's at, on the right hand side of the Most High, waiting for the Most High to say, Krum, Abanawa, Yahweh Krum, Mashiach Yahushua, rise and go judge and make war. Point blank. So that's hell right there. A condition. But now, while we on this earth, but he has somewhere too also that once you die, you can be thrown into. Look at Proverbs 5 and 5. Proverbs 5 and 5. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. Where she walking? Say her feet go down to death. Where she going is just like death. Her steps take hold on hell. Wherever she go is like hell. Condition. A bad condition. Sorrow and pain and suffering. That's hell in this body. In these mortal bodies, I might say. And when you die, the Most High got a spiritual body to throw your butt in hell where the worms never die and the fires never quench. Also. Look at Isaiah 28:14-15. Like I say, once I finish this, you should be able to understand spiritually what this is talking about. Wherefore, hear the word of the Most High, ye scornful men. So you scornful men out there, hear this word. That ruled this people which is in Jerusalem, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death. Hear that? They made a contract agreement with death. And with hell are we at agreement? Yeah? And with hell, a condition called hell, are we at agreement? When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. That's what you think. A lot of our people feel that this overflowing scourge, with the Most High whooping that butt and bringing these disasters, and the angels are doing the commandment of the Most High on this earth, that it ain't going to touch them. Like I say, it will not come upon us, unto us, for we have made lies our refuge. You see that? People have made lies their refuge, and you following the ones that's lying and not knowing. But ignorance not going to, because you ignorant, not knowing. Most I said, let the ignorant be ignorant. But understand this: you got an opportunity not to be ignorant, not knowing, being dumb and stupid. You don't have no reason to be dumb and stupid, because you have opportunity to know these scriptures. You better have your name written in the book of life to live forever and ever and ever, Yasharala. That's what it says. But this is what people are saying. It shall not come unto us. It's not going to come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under a falsehood have we hid ourselves, right? That's why I look at Jeremiah. I mean, you go wherever you want to go. It can't be just, man, it's too much. Man, this is crazy. I'm right here where I need to go. Jeremiah 16 and 19. Wow, this is a miracle. Okay. O Most High, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles, who, our people call themselves Gentiles. They don't call themselves Jews. They don't call themselves Israelites. They call themselves Gentiles. Talk about Israelites. Shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, this in the last days, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies. All these different religions. We say, show me that in the Bible. Show me this topic, that topic, that topic. You should be able to do that. There's no excuses. See, what he said. Surely our fathers have inherited lies. They've inherited lies. Religion. Show me the Baptist church, the Jehovah's Witness church, the Seventh-day Adventist, the Apostolic, the Catholic, the what I'm missing, Church of God in Christ, all these different religions, Islam. Show me all that in the Bible, where we was operating in that aspect in righteousness. That's why I say gonna be these new religions that come up that our forefathers know nothing about. Ain't nothing about. You mean Moses knew about all these different religions and so forth? No. New things that come up. We're gonna say we're gonna worship wood and stone in our captivities that we go into, and that's where we are. We got all these different nations that we've been under, and we followed their gods, we followed their traditions, their rituals, and so forth. Now here we are, totally lost. What do you say? Lost, destroyed for lack of knowledge, because we have forgotten the laws of the Most High. That's why it's important that you repent, ask for forgiveness of your sins, and come back to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. You can read from Genesis to Deuteronomy and look at those laws of the Most High and change. You can't have faith in him not doing what he say do. He got rules and regulations. You know about rules and regulations. Oh, Israel know about that. So Most High got rules and regulations. He said, hey, O Most High, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. And we in the day of affliction, y'all. For real, for real. Jacob's trouble. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth. And we in the last days. And shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. That's why you go to Ecclesiastes 3:24. But many are deceived by their own vain opinions. So you just like your forefathers that had vain opinions, and an evil suspicion is overthrown in judgment. Satan appeared as an angel of light to them, so they think that Satan is the right way. When you're dealing with Satan, they ain't dealing with the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua, straight up. Because you allow evil to come in, the Most High ain't evil. He created evil for those that draw evil to him, because you need something to grab a hold to, so that you can believe lies. You can believe vanity. You can be fooled by your own vain opinion, the way you think. And the evil suspicion overthrow your judgment. Who you think the evil is? Satan and his imps that have appeared as an angel of light. And you following them and don't even realize it. That's real talk, y'all. Y'all got to hear what I'm saying. Most of us say, lean not on, I don't understand. You should be able to go in these scriptures and back up how you feel. Your vain opinion. You should be able to back your vain opinion up by these scriptures. If you're not, then it's vain. It's worthless. Worthless thinking. Has no merit at all, according to thus say the Most High. And I said this. I know it might sound like it's coming at you hard, but I love Jacob. Just like the Most High say he loved Jacob, so therefore I'm coming at you so that you can wake up and realize how serious this is, because we're in the last days. And how long do we have to be able to bring this for? Where you can really hear this spiritually? I don't know. You don't even know how much, we don't even know how long we have to live on this earth. Most High calling that play. Poof. It's too late, because you rebelled against what it is that the Most High tried to show you in these scriptures. So we're looking at this scripture, and the actual nation's going to realize that they, as Gentiles, have been taught lies too. Because the devil deceiving everybody. I mean, I go there all the time with Revelations 12 and 9. Deceive the whole world. Lie to the whole world. You know? So, it is what it is. That's why we got to really be on point as much as possible in these last days, so that we'll have spiritual power by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua and know how to operate. Look, going back to Isaiah 28, verse 14 and 15. Wherefore hear the word of the Most High, ye scornful men, that rule this people which is in Jerusalem. Rule the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. You scornful men, hear this. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. Hear that? They made a covenant, a contract, agreement with death, and with hell they are in agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. So you got people, like I said, you got robots and robotees that believe the same thing, the same way as Israelites. We can do whatever we want to do, and nothing's going to happen to us. For we have made lies our refuge. Hear that? I will say, in the end of days, the Gentiles going to come and say, surely we have inherited, our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things where there is no profit. They have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. See? They hid themselves. But Most High telling you, hear this clearly, Yasharala. You think ain't nothing going to happen to you. This is what the Most High had to say to you. Amos 9 and 10. Amos 9 and 10. All the sinners those that transgress the laws of the Most High. Don't believe the Most High hate the sin. He loved the sinner. No, he said, all the sinners of my people who are the Israelites. This message is to the Israelites. Shall die by the sword. You hear that? All the sinners, all you that transgress the laws of the Most High, of his people, the 12 tribes of Israel, shall die by the sword. Remember what they just said in Isaiah 28th chapter, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So he's going to get you. Because you think when he bring that judgment, that the evil's not going to overtake nor prevent you from going into the kingdom. You better think again, people. It take work. That's why you're going to open up the book. Because he said, hey, they made a contract agreement with death, right? Go to Revelation 20th chapter. Let's see about that. Revelation 20th chapter. For the judgment's coming. Everybody gonna meet the judge, Peter Mashiach. We're gonna judge according to the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. So look, Revelation 20 and 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. So the dead people that have died and the dead people that's dead state of mind too. And the sea gave up the dead which were in them, in it. So the sea gonna give up all the people that died in the sea. And death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. You hear that? So they made a covenant with death and hell. So all them that have made that covenant with death and hell, they're gonna give up the ones that's with them too. Those that have made that covenant with them, they're gonna get, you got to meet the judgment seat too. Listen. And they were judged every man according to their works. You hear that? So death and hell, they made that covenant with death and hell, so they're going to stand before the Most High. As he have a Mashiach Messiah judge the people, everybody, according to their works, what you have done in these mortal bodies, what we have done in these mortal bodies. Understand this. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. So you made that covenant with death and hell, so you're going to be cast into the lake of fire. Understand this. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So that's the judgment for those that have made a judgment or agreement with death and hell. You're going to be cast into the lake of fire. That's the end result. So you choose life or death. That's that death right there. I'd rather choose life than that. You should too. It's very important, y'all. I mean, it's just the truth. So I think I covered hell pretty well here. Isaiah 42 and 6. Isaiah 42 and 6. And we're going to move on. Isaiah 42 and 6. Like I said, you get to understand through the precepts. So that's enough, I believe, as we going through this to see. You get understanding through these precepts. Isaiah 42 and 6. I, the Most High, have called thee in righteousness, meaning keeping the laws of the Most High. Deuteronomy 6 and 25. And will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles. For the Gentiles, the Israelites that are lost and blind and ignorant in gross darkness, may see the covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles. So we got to look at that covenant of the people. Who is this covenant given to? And what people is he talking about? Psalms 105 and 8 to 10. Psalms 105, 8 to 10. Here, remember this covenant, which is a contract or agreement forever. The word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant or contract or agreement he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, for an everlasting covenant. You hear that? An everlasting covenant. Point blank, without a shadow of a doubt, the covenant is with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he made it's going to last forever, everlasting covenant, everlasting agreement with the 12 tribes of Israel. So going back to Isaiah 42 and 6, I, the Most High, have called thee in righteousness. Righteousness is to keep the laws of the Most High. Let me go there, so there might be some people that are listening that really don't know what righteousness is. So let me go there, because I quoted it. I want to go there and make sure that you see what righteousness is. Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness if, which is condition, we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High our power as he hath commanded us. It's going to be our righteousness. We do the commandments of the Most High, his law, statute, commandments. Psalms 119, 142. So to do his commandments is righteousness. So he says in Psalms 119, 142, thy righteousness, which is keeping of the commandments of the Most High, is an everlasting righteousness. And thy law is the truth. So the truth is the laws. And the righteousness is the keeping of the Most High's commandments. So when you go back to Isaiah 42 and 6, I, the Most High, have called thee in righteousness to keep his commandments, and will hold thine hand when you keep his commandments, and will keep thee when you keep his commandments, and give thee for a covenant of the people. Give you for a contract agreement to the people of 12 tribes of Israel, for a light of the Gentiles, for a light of the Gentiles. A light to the brothers and sisters that call themselves Gentiles, but they're Israelites, to bring them first and foremost to the light, which is a light of the Gentiles. What's the light? Proverbs 6:23. Light of the Gentiles. What's this light? Proverbs 6:23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. Still going back to the laws of the Most High. It's light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life. So with this law, you're able to reprove people, to instruct them to the righteousness of the Most High. So it says, verse 7 of Isaiah 42 and 7, to open the blind eyes, those that are in gross darkness, as it tells us in Isaiah 60 and 2. The people are in gross darkness, gross ignorance, gross confusion, gross not knowing this truth. To open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison. See, to bring out the prisoners from the prison. Because they blinded. They can't see. They're in captivity. Their mind's in captivity because they're destroyed for lack of knowledge, for not following the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. And you taught you're not under the law of the Most High. And them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. See, them that sit in darkness, ignorance, not knowing, confusion, out of the prison house. The family, who live in a house? A family, a whole family that's in darkness, that's in prison, that's in a condition the Most High call in prison, hip talk. Captivated by what? Lies and confusion, false education, false religions, false philosophies, false ideologies, false, you name it, it's false, it's a lie. And you believe it. Well, I say you're a bunch of robots and robotees. You repeat the lies. You believe the lies. You stand on the lies. Look, it says, surely our forefathers have inherited lies, vanity, things wherein there is no profit, but to be cast into the lake of fire. That's the profit you're going to get, if you want to consider that. Hopefully you won't. This is very important, people. So, we are stuck in a rut. And the Spirit of the Most High is calling us to come out of this rut, so that we can see spiritually what we got to do to make it up out of here. Look at because we gonna round up this lesson. We're gonna end up in dealing with the sons of the Most High. It's very important that you see this. But we're going through all this because we're dealing with a lot of where a lot of this doctrine comes from. Those in the church, they mainly deal with the New Testament, so we got to go to the New Testament. That's why I was so much into 2 Peter's, 2 and 4 and so forth. A lot of it's coming from there. So when you look at Keep this in mind. Nehemiah, 13th chapter, we're going to start at verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. These are different nations outside from the 12 tribes of Israel. So he saw Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. Chinese, Japanese, and Ashdod. Those that are of Ashdod. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod and could not speak in the Jews' language. They couldn't speak Hebrew, but according to the language of each people. So they spoke Ashdod, or they spoke Ammon, or they spoke Moab, the language that they spoke. And I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them. So he smote certain of them and plucked off their hair and made them swear by the Most High, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons or for yourselves. So why is Nehemiah so hard on? You look at Nehemiah and Ezra rolled together. They was hardcore. Hear what he said? He smoked some of them, cut off their hair. He's quoting from the law of the Most High. Deuteronomy 7:3. It says, this is the law. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Why? In these other nations, we're not supposed to be dealing with these other nations, marrying into them. Most High's not with interracial marriages. This is why. For they will turn away thy son, which is thy is your son, from following me, that they may serve other gods. Because remember, Psalm 96:5, for all the gods of the nations are what? Are idols. He said they're going to turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. So he didn't say the women, did he? But he told us the sons and daughters. In verse 3, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. You see? Because the women, they going to follow whatever the man brings forth. That's how it was. Now, no women's live like it is now. But the Most High called men because he knew that the men going to be able to guide the women, children, and so forth, to be able to follow him. That's why he told us we got to teach our children of the Most High and not be rebellious as our forefathers were, but teach of the Most High and show over his works, how the mighty works that he have done. His name is jealous. But here we go dealing with ourselves too much, then next thing you know, the Most High is jealous and we jacked up. Again and again and again. That's what happened to us. So he said, don't get with these other nations. He said, look, he said, this is why. For they will turn away, verse 4, thy son from following me. Because the men are the ones that the Most High called that's going to be setting up this nation. That's been over this nation. From time to time to time to time. You see? The son from following him. Because the woman going to follow whatever her man is. Whatever he's bringing forth. Women were like spoil. You lose in the war, they come get the women and children. Take our women and children. That's part of war. But they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. See? The son's going to serve other gods. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy these suddenly. That's why Nehemiah said, hey, Nehemiah 13:25, I contended with them, got in their face and cursed them out, and smote certain of them. They smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by the Most High, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. This is what he say. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? This is what we looking at. That's why I praise the Most High, Lord Yahweh, by Shem Mashiach, because he show you solutions. Those that have ears to hear, and in the spirit. It's the spirit. He said, hey, did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? An example. Solomon in his old age made all these different idol temples and go in there to worship to all these foreign ladies that spoke these foreign languages and believed in these different gods, as it says in Psalms 96:5, for all the gods of the nations are idols. That's what he did. He made idol temples and went in there and sacrificed to their gods. The Most High came to him twice and told him don't do it. Still did it in his older age. That's why the kingdom was split. Not in his time, but in his son Rehoboam's time. So did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him. Very intelligent, very wise, who was beloved of his power, beloved of the Most High. And the Most High made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin. You say, so he say, shall we then hearken, listen unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our power and marry in strange wives? And one of the sons of Jodah, the son of Elisham, the high priest, was son-in-law to Sanballat, the Horonite. Therefore I chased him away from him. It's cold. Remember them, O my power, because they have defiled the priesthood and the covenant of the priesthood and the Levites and of the Levites. Thus cleanse I them from all strangers, from all these foreign people that's outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, and appointed the wards of the priests and the Levites, every one in his business. See? That's why you look at in the Apocrypha, like I said, Nehemiah and Ezra rolled together. Look what Ezra did. And it's all going to come together as you see what it is that's being taught in Genesis, the 6th chapter. So when you look at Ezra, go to the Apocrypha, the book of Ezra. We can go into the regular Bible, actually.